I am servant. I am Pisces. How we doing today? Hope you had a wonderful day. I know I did. Said I promised you a little ditty. Laws of human relations. Gen Z, probably something you might need to think about. Have you ever read anything like that? No wonder you're Furbies. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to his own wife. You ever heard anything like that? If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. Have you ever heard anything like that? Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So how does that happen? I wonder. He that sacrifices unto any god, save unto the Lord, the most high righteous and love only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You know anything about that? The understanding or the implications are as of which, a woman in early England, also a man in Lage with evil spirits. Hebrew, kashafat, to practice sorcery, is something so translated in the SFE, often in RSV. Hebrew, kasim, divination, is once translated witchcraft, otherwise divination. Pharmakai means sorcery, means the use of drugs and charms and magic words. Bewitch, rendered Greek, estium, to amaze. Greek, basakana, to use the evil eye on one. The famous witch of Endora is not called witch in the Bible. A woman that hath familiar spirit, a woman that hath a familiar spirit, a woman who is a medium by whatever name. All such practices are strongly condemned. Did any of you think at the point of whenever you decided to lose your virginity or anything else like that, did you think that it would oscillate to becoming a witch in the time? Does it happen that way? Huh? Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Gentlemen, understand, what you're doing. It's not just what you think that, sex, fornication, all that stuff, the reason why it's prohibited, okay? It's not only you're doing something against someone else or taking of something from somebody else without it being a futuristic thing, a whole thing. You're only taking half of the essence, okay? What does that mean? That understandably, it's to your own destruction too, not just theirs. The point of it being is, what did you gain? Your essence is worth more to the Father because you keep it. It gives you wisdom, knowledge beyond measure. Ladies, you trip down the road and this, that, and the other. You may be having sex periodically. Maybe it's what you think's okay. Let me ask you something. How many Satanists or Furbies or witches pagans are around you. Do you understand that you're in a losing battle? Sure, I've noticed a few people, some rich people, and they throw themselves way out there because they think they're way ahead of the game and they think they're knowledgeable. But understand that what it costs, somebody it always costs. Okay? It costs you because you can't have a relationship, a normal relationship. What is a normal relationship? Well, today, it's a once and go on, as far as what I see. Used to be a relationship was two people to stay together forever and understood what they had to dream about. But each individual can't dream two different dreams. It has to be one. But the point of it is, guys, what you sacrifice, what you may be let off into, what you may catch, what you may understand that, what you're dragged off into. Ladies, let me tell you just like this. You're a princess, okay? That's the way you keep and treat yourself, as holy, okay? The glory of God. Because you're his child. He made you that way. You got blessings and gifts you can't even imagine, okay? Princess, you open the door, you close the door, you do the right things. Understand that these decisions that you're making in youth, that you're losing because what's in front of you is blessings and gifts. The longer you wait, the more blessings and gifts will be in front of you. Especially the Father will bring you somebody. Okay? Same thing, princesses. He'll bring you somebody. But you have to wait upon. Do you not understand that? Everything, even, after Gen Z, what was it? 28 and up to some 38, something like that. They were so confused. They didn't know which direction they was even going. They played more in witchy woo-ha and evil stuff than what y'all do. But see, y'all recognize that it was okay because they was doing it. Okay? But it's not okay. Okay? By no means. And if you don't know the Father, maybe you don't even know Jesus. Maybe you heard. But the point of it is, when I bumped into that pagan out there in Kentucky, it's all went south. But the understanding is, what did you go south to do? I mean, what is it that you're accomplishing? Self-satisfaction. That's all. But you're not going to get eternal life. That's a guarantee. Agreed? Okay, well, let's just follow it on out. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrificed unto any god, save unto the Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved only, he shall be utterly destroyed. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger, nor oppress him. For ye were a stranger in the land of Egypt. Ye shall not afflict any one widow or fatherless child. Now, the point of the land of Egypt, have you ever read anything like that? Well, I've never been to the land of Egypt. We're talking about your ancient bloodline. Okay, you're of a royal bloodline. Nobody will tell you this. Okay? You're your own freaking planet, man. You and God have a one-on-one thing. You just don't know it. Okay? The understanding about what you do in this life carries to eternal life. Because the Father is watching you. All of you. The understanding of what you've done, or what you're going to do, or what you're thinking about doing. Look here. Put it up. Save everything you got. Be understandable. Sure, you're computer gurus, and yeah, you're worried about money and finance in the world and all this stuff. Look here. But with self, you need to take care of yourself first. the actual part of the Father. You know, I've been sick 6 or 8 times in my whole life. Okay? That's it. Why? Because I don't believe in it. The point of it being is that you've been sold a bill of goods that'll cost you your life because you're not smart enough to understand. You got integrity in ways. When it comes to self-satisfaction, you sure do. But understand that what's going on. You know, the point of who are you? Do you really know? Of course you don't. That's why I bumped into a pagan, and that's why I see Furbies everywhere. Okay? Like I said, the 30-year-old group and up, you know, going, well, that's cute. Yeah, it's cute to manufacture something for their brain to be isolated, to be something else from somebody else. You know, don't kid yourself about what's going on. The witchy woo-ha, witchcraft, demonology, Satanism. It's all coming down the pike to where you accept it. You can't accept that. Because guess what? You don't know what you're going to have. You have a couple of children and you say, okay, it's cool, you know, whatever they want to do. Well, what if they're out there unaliving somebody? What if they're out there drinking blood? What if they're out there doing these things, okay? Taking people's stuff. What if? Do you care? The point of it is that you should care about your own planet, your own people, your own person that you're with, your own things, your surroundings, your environment. All of these collateral damage things are actually collateral damage if you're not walking correct. Okay? I know a bunch of them that are sidebar, you know, they just don't understand. Look, you know, understand what Satan is doing. If you just got a minute, you know, go to Exodus 22. Read 16 throughout. Understand what human relations are. Because you have no idea. You think you're the smartest things and the cutest things on the planet. But you're not. You're actually the last part of a ham bone. Why? Because you can't grow anything. Because you think should be yours, no matter what. You think all these things are happening because of you. But understand, yeah, it sounds good. Have you checked the infrastructure lately? Are you even that smart? Have you checked digital frequency zones from 5G, 6G, and on up? No, you're not. You haven't checked that, have you? You haven't looked at the digital communities they're putting in, right? The actual digital centers. It takes 340,000 gallons of water a day to keep one of them working. Have you checked into that? Have you checked into the power consumption? Have you checked into that? It's 134% more than what we're using now. We don't even have enough for ourselves anymore. What is 5G frequency? Do you understand that? No, you don't. Understand these things before you stick your neck up out there and say, okay, I'm going to sleep with this person, that person, everybody's person, and everybody's going to go along with it, and everything's going to be just great, hunky-dory. Guess what? It's not. Because, look, the judgment, okay, that you're heaping upon your back, what is it going to do to you? Do you care? Well, it's going to take away from your footsteps. It's going to take away from your gifts and blessings. Sure, you may mentor under Satan. But guess what? He don't care no more about you than dirt. Ladies, princes, and princesses, there's a right way of doing your life. There's a right way of toning your life. And the thing about it is, what you see around you, what you let go by the way, just because they may be acquaintances of friends or whatever goes on. Let me tell you something. You get drugged at one of those parties, and they take pictures of you and blackmail you into doing things. There you go. How would you like that one? And you don't know it. You're just there to have a good time. So understand, this is not playtime anymore. This is serious. The Father wants me to tell everybody every little thing that's going on. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I come out with 20-something chapters of this. And I'm gonna hell bomb everybody. The thing of what you got to really understand is you have a God. Okay? And you have a Messiah, Jesus Christ. He died for your sins on the cross. He was raised from the grave. And he went to heaven in a cloud. Now understand how that makes you understand what's going on in the world. Well, the way it is you start looking into it, your Psalms 119, precepts, statutes, commandments, and testimonies. The understanding of how to be a good person, understanding how to be charitable, understanding how to treat your person, understanding how to be treated, how to stand up like a knight. You go from a page, which is a child, learning, to a prince, which is just a little over a child, learning, and trying to address yourself to be a knight, okay? And then you go from a knight, whenever you start to get married, to a king, okay? This is how this works. But if you don't follow protocol, you'll end up in a spin cycle with thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Okay? Or, ladies, you may not suffer a magician or a warlock. Understand that how this works. Because if it's done, say that you end up getting pregnant and you have to get married, or you may not. Okay, Prince, guess what? You just got child support. Princess, you just got 24/7 something to do. Your life is more or less on hold, both of you. And what did you do? One night of frivolity, Understand that this is not playtime. And the Father wanted me to tell you all that. And let me tell you something, I'll be telling you more, Gen Z, because I'm studying you. I'm studying what you're about. Sure, you raised up with cell phones, computers, and all this good stuff. But the thing about it is, you have no wisdom. You think planting and a crop or stuffing stuff back, actually building caches and having things. I'll go have a latte. I like lattes too. But you know what? I know that I have to preserve myself if something does happen. Now this is going to be a time, I don't know what the Father's got going on. I know there was war on my birthday. I was supposed to call it on my birthday, but I called it in March. But understand this, something's coming. And if you run in between 17 to 18 to 20, look here, you're able for the draft. So as much time as you can spend with the Father building up your armor, the better chances you have to survive. And surviving this out here, in your world where you can sit at the house and make money, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. I sit at the house and make money all the time. But the thing about it is that what happens when the lights go out? Have you studied that? Do you know how to make perpetual motion? Do you know how to generate electricity out of thin air? Just by using your mind and your hands. No computers. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When I tell you about ancient times, your bloodline, there's a DNA code on it from your ancient bloodline. And that's the reason why the Father wants to spend time with you. An hour a day, meditation. Just concentrate. Just say, Father, I'm here. Jesus, I'm here. And just sit. You'll get an image. Maybe you might not get nothing. Might take a couple of days. But he'll give you something. And understand that I won't lie to you about nothing. I have nothing to gain or lose out of this whole deal. I just made a promise to my Father that I would do exactly what I'm doing now. And the thing about it is that I don't have a regret one. I have knowledge in just about a little bit of everything. Construction, finance, even digital. I'm finally getting brushed up. I passed some of my courses today. So I'm pretty proud of that. 3 of them, actually. So I'm pretty brilliant. Actually, I am brilliant. I know I'm brilliant. I've never failed a test. I don't know how to fail. You want to sit there all day and read a book? Well, you can do it by yourself. I never was that guy. Straight D and F student. But if you want me to take a test, I'll read the whole book and take the test. I won't fail. But the thing about it is that, look, the point of you people, Gen Z, okay, you're really good people. You're children of God. And you are your own planet. Not the way you think, but you are your own planet. And you can give a lot to the congregation, a lot to the people around you, a lot to your church, okay? Your time is very valuable. Your money is very valuable. The rule of thumb is 10%, whatever you make, whatever you take home, whatever you make in a day. You sell a tire for $10, guess what? 10%. Understand how that works because it compounds. When you give away that 10%, you get double. Believe it or not, I'm living proof it works. I'm living proof you can actually sit still and make money and not do nothing. Okay? Except study. And that's what I do. And I think that y'all can be the most wonderful people in the world to help. I know that you have this deal about understanding about all this different communities and different lifestyles and different ways of living. Look, that's not in the book, okay? Satan is here for one reason, destruction and turmoil, okay? He's the great accuser. He's got minions, he's got covens, he's got worshipers all over the place, okay? And the thing about what had happened, and I know that you haven't heard of Ashtoreth or Tammuz or Baal. Maybe you have, but did you actually bring it from way back then to now? To how that understood? Who is Ashtoreth? Lilith's daughter, okay? What is she about? Well, she's about turning men to women and women to men. And you don't understand that all the upper echelon that gave you all that digital technology to keep you in a spin cycle, keep you occupied, keep you outside the realm of God to where you know that you're your own planet, that you don't have to deal with the principality. Okay? Now are you catching on? Maybe there's an epiphany there. I don't know. I can't see it. Pull some of that hair back. But understand, the wisdom that you get, okay, is from the Father, okay? Understand these other people are pushing against you. Why are they pushing against you? Because they don't want you to wake up. And once you wake up, you'll understand the whole picture. And the way you wake up, precepts, psalms, commandments, and testimonies. The testimonies you'll look at, and you'll look at it as from the digital age. And when you look at it that way, you'll look and go, that has nothing to do with me. And then all of a sudden, you'll read it somewhere and you go, hey, that's my footsteps exactly. And this is from 2,000 years ago, man. I'm not kidding you. And I'm telling you right now, the Father's floating. He's here. Jesus is coming back. So if you don't have a clue who they are or what's going on, you better get your hands full. And if you're not baptized, look, guy, gal, quickest way to hell in a handbasket, But anyways, you need to find you a pastor. You need to go to church. Whatever you need to do. And, if you haven't read into this, don't read it off of ChatGPT. Okay? Find you a King James Version Bible. Okay? Not new prefix, not new words, not easy to read or anything like that. Look here. The reason why and it, but, or why, or thy, thee, thou, endure is because the curiosity of the word. Sure, I'm making a word easier for you. It can be ambiguous or it's just probably not explainable. Okay? Understand the two. Ambiguous is curiosity. Easy is easy. If it was easy, what's the old saying? If it's easy, everybody else would be doing it. Well, that's the reason why they're changing everything. Even the pastors, the major channels, have changed their stuff to digital. More or less ChatGPT. Why? Because it's less work. Well, what did they do? Well, they just turned it over to Ball. And what they're doing is that circumventing the words in a different way. That's an insomnia. And they really don't understand that. But the basics of life and survival and understanding is the affirmation. The Father gives you something that's called life-living substance, life-living affirmation. Okay? You're walking down the street, you're in the middle of the street, and then all of a sudden you get an epiphany to move. And you barely miss getting hit by a truck. That's what you're looking for. But that's by the Father. That's not by witches, warlocks, sorcerers, or tea readers. Okay? And they say all these things. And they say, okay, well, tomorrow you're going to have a bad day. Guess what? Tomorrow you're going to have a bad day. Because that's what you think. And that's the truth. The artists say on the top of the screen, for entertainment purposes only. Look here. They're pulling your leg. So understand what I'm telling you. There's more to life than looking at a screen. Okay? So, anyways. I got you for 27 minutes. It's been interesting. And, I want you to understand, I love you guys. Every one of you. The Father loves you. He just wants to spend time with you. And He'll get it one way or another. Okay? Something's going on. I don't know exactly what's happening, but anyways. And I'm not part of the collective. I am chosen one. Okay? So understand what I'm telling you. This comes from the Father. It doesn't come from me. Okay? So wherever it lies up, it lies up. Let me finish this off. If they afflict them in any wise, and they cry, well, let's see, one more. They shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If they afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with a sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usury, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. If that at all take thy neighbor remnant to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by the sun goeth down. For this is his covering only. It is his remnant for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass, when he crieth unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. And thou shalt not reveal the gods, nor curses the ruler of the people. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of the ripe fruits, and of the liquors. The firstborn of the sons shalt thou give unto me. Likewise shalt thou do with the oxen and with the sheep. 7 days it shall be, with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it to me, and ye shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of the beast in the fields. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. Thou shalt not rise a false report, but not thine hand with the wicked, to be the unrighteous witness. So understand about tithing. The first part of it is you gather it, you make sure it gets to the storehouse. All these things maybe you've never heard. Well, stay on here, stay with me. I've got a few more things interesting going on, but this is the first part of Exodus, okay? It's Exodus 22. Laws of human relations. And these are one-on-one things. And I know that the friends around you and the things that are going on around you, they may seem like it's cool and all that stuff. But look here, has anything to do with evil, witchcraft, sorcery, or anything, Satanism, you better take off the other way. Because you only got one life to live, but you got eternal life to give. Okay? So anyways, I'll get off here. You're a wonderful people. You're the children of God. You're a prince or a princess. And you have a father that really wants to talk to you. Maybe you don't have one at home. Maybe you don't have a mother at home. But you definitely have a father. You talk to him for about an hour every morning or hour every night. Something you get into, all you got to do is say, Father, and then turn and say, Jesus, and he's there, okay? And all you got to do is close your eyes and he'll tell you how to maneuver right out of it. It's just every time, okay? Believe in the Father. There's no power. There's no higher power than that, okay? Well, I'll get off here. Y'all are good people. Stay in the groove, with the Father. That's all there is. No more, no less. Something does come down the pike, you got the armor of God on. Anyways, Jesus on your lips, Father's in you, legions of angels. I am servant, and I'm definitely a Pisces. Y'all have a good one.